All right, Steve, thanks for taking your time out of your busy restaurants schedule to be with us today. So could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience? But this video, I want to do this interview so we could show other employers that are thinking about this program, and to come from someone that has experience in working with this. So straightforward, totally honest, the good, the bad, the ugly. Just let another employer know kind of what the process was for you and how it worked out for you. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and your position.
Thank you, Britt, and I'm very happy to have an opportunity to share some thoughts with you today. I'm the Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for Table 301 Restaurant Group. We've been in operation here in Greenville for almost 25 years, starting with this restaurant right here, Sobeys, and we've added multiple businesses over the last 25 years. We currently have 8 or 9 different businesses, approximately 300 to 350 associates. In my role, I'm responsible essentially for anything that goes on in any of the restaurants, whether it's on the culinary side or the dining room side.
Okay. And so you were dealing with labor shortage issues, and I came to you to tell you about this program. So what are some of the labor shortage issues you've dealt with for the last 3 to 5 years?
Well, they've seem to have become more amplified over the last 3 to 5 years. When we met 3 or 4 years ago, we had labor challenges. They're more difficult today. And initially when we met, we felt like there could possibly be a need for your services. And now that we're down the road 3 or 4 or 5 more years, I'm so thankful that we embarked on this initiative with your organization, because the labor shortages have only become more difficult post-COVID. Unfortunately, as many people have now learned, a lot of restaurant industry professionals and tenured people in the industry have left.
Yeah.
And at times we thought they may come back, but I think the handwriting on the wall is pretty clear that many, if not all of them, are not going to return to the industry.
Yeah. So during your brief total shutdown during COVID, and you were asking people to come back, who came back?
We were very fortunate. I think we were blessed, and by and large, those that were furloughed, which essentially was our entire team,
yeah,
we brought people back as we were able to reopen our businesses. By mandate, we had to be closed for, I think, 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We did the best we could with the takeout and the delivery, but that's just a very small piece of our business. But
right,
as we started bringing people back, for the most part, all of our associates did return.
Mm-hmm. And your EB-3 workers, they came back?
Every one of them.
Every one of them, okay. I want to make sure.
Every one of them.
Yeah. So when you heard about our program at first, I mean, were you hesitant? What were the questions you were having? They're probably the same questions that are going through another employer's mind right now as we introduce this program to them. And then what got you over those hesitancies, or did you not? You just had to sit back and wait for it to happen?
That's a great question. Yes, I was hesitant, primarily because I didn't know. What you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
And when we talked about this initially, I was just unsure as to what would actually happen and how this would actually play out. Hiring, recruiting, identifying associates is always tricky. So I assumed that that same type of challenge would take place with the EB-3 program.
Right.
So yes, there was hesitancy.
Yeah, yeah. And so what hiccups did you have during the process?
I would say very few.
Okay,
There
that's good to hear.
There was a situation that was as much on us as anybody. We didn't fully grasp some of the complexity required in terms of paperwork.
Yeah, we got to ask you to sign a lot of stuff.
There were some administrative processes.
Yeah.
It was not information that we were unwilling to give. We only have so much stuff stored at this location.
Right.
So I remember we had to dig through some boxes and pull some historical documents. So that was really the only cumbersome part. And once we got used to what the needs were going to be and what we were going to be asked for,
yeah,
it was very simple after that.
Right, that's good. So tell me, so overall, you've had a couple restaurants do the program. You're also doing another, we call it another round. You're doing another round to bring in another group as you're waiting for some of the other ones to come in that are that are waiting for interviews in their home country, but you're sponsoring some more now. So your overall feeling, are you glad you did it? What are your, so how did it go for you?
It's been remarkable.
Remarkable?
Remarkable.
Okay.
It's unlike anything that I could have imagined. Although we were hesitant at first, we got through the hesitancy, but even after that, the one thing that I never could have anticipated was the quality of the associate that came to our restaurants. By and large, very few, almost none of them had any culinary experience, but the quality of the associate, the passion to excel in an industry where they had no experience was the single biggest surprise.
Oh, that's great to hear. Great to hear. So tell me, do you have a success story of people that have come and started? So your restaurants were sponsoring food prep workers. So they were starting your entry level in the kitchen. I guess your entry level is your dishwashers and your food prep. So we were starting at food prep, and so they were starting there just doing, and so you tell us about some success stories of?
I think we've had a number of success stories.
Oh, great.
For one, the EB-3 associates always arrive on time. They're typically always early. They never call out from work. They're almost never sick. They almost never miss a day of work, and that's unprecedented in our industry. We accept a certain amount of tardiness or absence, as you would really in any business, but the EB-3s were the most predictable, consistent associates that we have ever employed in our restaurants.
Wow,
and they're not even culinary trained associates. Many of the EB-3 associates after the first year became employees of the year, associates of the year at the particular restaurant where they were located.
Wow.
One specific success story that I'd love to share is here at Sobeys. One of the EB-3 associates who in fact did have some culinary pastry experience. She came into the kitchen and was a little more versed in culinary operations than maybe some of the others, but she has now moved into a leadership position, and she's the pastry chef in Sobeys, our highest volume restaurant in the company.
Oh, that's fantastic. And she's been here for a couple years?
She's been here almost 2 years now.
Almost
Yes,
2 years now.
That's correct.
That's fantastic. Love hearing the success stories. So you would recommend this to other restaurateurs, other lines of business what would be your advice to other companies that are having labor shortages and a little bit hesitant or never heard of this program like you?
I would highly recommend it.
Okay.
I would ask to trust the process, to get in touch with you, listen to how the process works. It's almost entirely seamless. There is a little bit of upfront work, but so much of the heavy lifting is done by your organization, and then the employer just needs to simply be prepared for when people are going to come and join their team. We don't always know the exact time when a person is going to come through the pipeline, but you all have provided an amazing amount of upfront information in terms of be prepared. We have an associate coming the week of this month or the next month. So I would highly encourage any prospective employer, any employer who's looking to at least mitigate labor shortages to go down this road.
And how about integrating into your kitchen staff? Has that been, they integrated well with English skills? They might not, or how they've integrated into your company culture?
They've integrated especially well, and the fact that our culture is such a big part of our organization, and the fact that these associates are considered some of the best, if not the best associates in our kitchen, and they receive accolades, they receive awards. They're part of our family. They are exceptional contributors to our business.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Steve. I'll let you get back to getting dinner ready for tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.